So good day, everyone. Today we will be discussing the KBP Broadcast Code of the Philippines. So this was amended in year 2011. So the KBP Broadcast Code has 33 articles. So in each lesson, we will be discussing one article, right? So first article is the News and Public Affairs program. The section 1 is being objective. News and Public Affairs program shall aim primarily to inform the public on the important current events and issues rather than merely to entertain. So objectivity and journalism over the last century have become inextricably linked. So these two words are linked because of the considerations in writing stories that should be fair, should be balanced, but striving for objectivity has actually hindered us from adequately covering the truth, giving context, and achieving equity. So as educators, it is our role and responsibility to teach journalistic approach based not on objectivity, but on seeking truth, providing context, and including voices and perspectives left by the adherents to objectivity. So when we look for stories, we consider the 5 W's and 1 H. But not all the time, stories with the 5 W's and 1 H can be considered as a news story. So some people say that when you write and when you just focus on the 5 W's and 1 H, that story can be considered as objective. But of course, as a journalist and an educator, a journalism educator, I always tell my students to not just focus on the 5 W's and 1 H in writing a news story. Always go behind the story. We always look for the in-depthness of the story, or we always treat a story as an important one. We do not write we do not write by focusing only on the 5 W's and 1 H, because our audience already know the 5 W's and 1 H. For example, sumakay ka sa isang jeep, tapos dun sa parte ng palikulikong kalsada, meron kang nadaanan na aksidente, di ba? So dahil sa social media, maraming nagkukuha ng photos, maraming nag-upload sa Facebook, sa internet, sa Instagram. So nakikita na ng mga tao. So somehow yung 5 W's and 1 H. So if you will be writing a story about that, of course, you will get the stories behind the 5 W's and 1 H. What happened? What really happened? Sino yung pwedeng ma-interview? So yun yung hindi alam ng mga tao. Kumbaga superficial pa ang nakikita na storya or detalye ng mga tao. Next, the news schedule. So news shall be part of a station's daily programming. No less than 30 minutes of daily programming should be devoted to news. So eto, walang problema sa mga FM stations na half-half. So minsan diba ang programming ng mga radio stations, in the morning, they have the news format, and in the afternoon, they have the full musical programming. So meron din naman na FM stations na full musical program format talaga. So ang ginagawa nila sa top of the hour or every hour, meron silang dinideliver na balita. So I just don't know kung papaano nila siniset yung programming nila. So ang naririnig natin sa mga FM stations na ginagawa nila, so kapag halimbawa pagpatak ng alas 9, pagpatak ng alas 10, alas 11, alas 12, yun yung tawag natin na top of the hour news. So nagde-deliver sila ng story. So nire-require ng KBP kahit yung mga FM stations na mag-deliver na news stories. Next, Section 3, the fairness and objectivity. So under the Section 3, the letter A, news reports shall be fair, factual, and objective. Of course, the broadcasting students, the journalism students, the practicing journalists know how to write stories that are fair, factual, and objective. But as I've said, being objective doesn't mean that you should only focus on the 5 W's and 1 H. Next, receiving bribes, gifts, privileges, or any consideration to favor one side of a story, stop the story from airing, or put any person in either bad or favorable light is prohibited. So, ito na yung madalas na kinu-question ng mga ordinaryong mga viewers natin or ng mga audience natin, yung credibility ng mga journalists. Dahil merong mga journalists na pwedeng nagre-receive ng mga regalo, pwedeng nagre-receive ng mga honorarium from the politicians or big personalities. So yun ang isa sa mga pinagbabawal ng KBP broadcast code. Next, letter C, side comments expressing personal opinions while a news item is being reported or delivered are prohibited to prevent the listener from mistaking opinion from news. So that is why whenever we set schedule or madalas karamihan sa mga radio programs or radio stations, meron silang ina-allocate na 30-minute, for example, newscast program. So sa newscast program na yan na 30 minutes or siguro ang iba an hour na programming, so kinakailangan lahat ng nakalagay doon or lahat ng i-deliver na mga stories, mga news items ay delivered as news items lang. So hindi pwede na may side comments, for example, after reading or after delivering, after newscasting a certain item or a certain news item, mga pasaway naman pala to. So, hindi pwede na right after reading a story or even inside or during the 30-minute newscast, hindi pwedeng magbigay ng personal opinion because we distinguish newscast programs from opinion programs or from commentary programs. Next, when presented as part of a news programs, editorials or commentaries must be identified as such and presented as distinct from news reports. So sometimes, radio stations or TV stations, so broadcast stations, also include siguro mga 2-minute na commentary program sa isang newscast program or right after the newscast program. So, kailangan yun ma-distinguish na this is an opinion, this is an analysis program. So, madalas, ang format ng mga radio stations after the 30-minute program, so may ini-insert sila either scripted or impromptu na sinasabi nilang analysis about the top story na present or kung anong topic ang gusto na i-deliver ng anchor. Next, the section 4, news sources. So we have under the letter A, care must be taken in selecting news sources since the credibility of the news rests upon its sources. Ito, iniisip natin yung credible. Pag sinabi natin credible pagdating sa news writing, hindi siya credible na parang yung usual na pagkakaalam natin sa meaning ng credible na basta halimbawa mayor, credible na siya. Basta halimbawa teacher, credible na siya. So, credible means kapag ni-interview mo yung tao na siya yung talagang dapat na nagsasalita or nagbibigay ng opinion about a certain topic. So say for example, you will be asking about the suspension of classes because of the typhoon. So of course, you will be interviewing the local government unit or pwede din na Department of Education. So hindi pwede na porque kakilala mo yung guard na nagtatrabaho dun sa school, sabi ng guard sa school na walang pasok, sinuspend na ngayon ni mayor or sinuspend na ngayon kang principal. Hindi porque na taga school si guard, may consider mo na siya na credible. So when we look for sources to interview, we see to it that they are credible. So, kinakailangan sila yung taong in charge. Sila talaga yung dapat nagsasalita about sa topic mo na isinusulat. Next, only news that can be attributed to a source shall be aired. So when our source cannot be identified by name, the reason for this should be made clear in the news report. So sometimes we write stories ayon sa mapagkakatiwalaan na source. So hindi pwede na halimbawa tatlo ang in-interview mo tapos lahat yun sinabi mo sa source na ayaw magpapangalan, ba? So kinakailangan sabihin mo kung bakit ayaw niyang magpapangalan. Pero dun sa tatlo na yun, kailangan mga isa lang yung ayaw magpakilala. Pero kung yung tatlong sources mo sa isang storya ay lahat ayaw magpakilala, baka questionable yung storya na yun. So, kinakailangan ang source natin clearly identified sila. Credible yung mga source natin. So, kung ayaw magpakilala lahat ng na-interview mo, tapos yung storya mo pa ay controversial, baka kailangan i-let go mo na yung storya na yan. Kasi ako as a journalist, lalo na ngayon sa pandemic, kung wala akong source na makuha, right source or credible source about an information, kung hindi ko ma-reach through phone, through social media, or any other means, kahit nagaano kalaki pa yan na storya, kung hindi ko naman may interview yung right source, hindi ko na ginugo yung storya. Next, news sources must be clearly identified except when confidentiality of the source was a condition for giving the information. So sometimes, tinatago natin yung pangalan ng tao or source natin dahil baka kapag ni-reveal natin siya, lalo na sa television or sa radio, baka yung security naman niya, yung malalagay sa alanganin. So we consider these cases na dapat lagi sa journalism, we protect our source. Next, information provided by confidential sources may be aired only if it is in the public interest to do so. So isa sa mga minimindi natin sa objectivity na we deliver this information, these news stories, of course, for the public. Kung hindi naman interesting para sa public or hindi para sa kapakanan ng public yan, no need naman na siguro. Halimbawa, yung away ng mag-asawa na gusto mo lang dahil naging kaaway mo, halimbawa, yung isa sa kapamilya nun or dati mong nakabanggaan yung person na involved. So, may bias ka, may personal bias ka, kaya ini-air mo. So, kung hindi naman makakatulong sa public, so, hindi na natin siya kailangan i-touch. Next, before airing information provided by a confidential source, an effort should be made to look for a source who can be identified or who can corroborate the information provided by the confidential source. So, gaya na sinasabi ko kanina, kung lahat ng tatlo na yun ayaw magpakilala, so pwedeng questionin ng listeners natin, ng viewers natin, di ba? So, kung halimbawa, meron ng mga possible na mga sources na pwede mong ma-interview na gusto magpa-identify ng sarili nila. So, go ka na doon. Then, siguro, isabay mo na lang yun doon sa na-interview na ayaw magpa-identify ng sarili. Next, press releases may be used as news sources but only after the station has verified that they come from an authentic source. So, madalas sa journalism, meron tayong tinatawag na press release. So, syempre, mga press releases na to ay mga pabango, pampabango, mga positive stories. Although, in journalism, we don't just focus on negative stories, right? So, make sure na itong mga nare-receive natin ng mga information ay galing sa mga lehitimong mga sources. Yung mga sources na alam natin na pagkakatiwalaan. Next, suspects or fugitives from the law may be interviewed as news sources. However, they should not be aided, abetted, or encouraged when in the act of planning or committing a crime or be accompanied on their way to committing a crime. So, ngayon mahirap na mag-interview sa mga kulungan dahil syempre protected na din sila ng batas, and minsan din natatay mo halimbawa na huli or na timing na andun yung suspect tapos in-interview mo. So, hindi pwede na pakwentuhin mo pa siya ng mga nangyayari, paano mo ginawa. So, parang ini-invite natin yung mga tao na, ganito pa lang pag-commit ng crime. Ganito pa lang pag nanakaw. So, although gusto natin na makuha yung side ng tao na yon, ng suspect na yon, ng wanted na tao na yon. So, ayaw natin na i-educate pa yung mga tao kung paano niya kinumit yung crime. Parang, paano gagawin yung mga ginawa niya. Next, rumors or gossips shall not be aired in the guise of news. Using terms like anonymous source, confidential source, or unknown source shall not justify the airing of rumors and gossips, especially in news programs. So gaya ng na-discuss natin, nasabi ko kanina, mas maganda na identified lahat ng sources kasi of course ang boomerang yan ay sa reporter lang naman, di ba? Sa news reporter or sa news presenter na baka mga ano lang yan, mga kwento-kwentong marites lang yan, di ba? Baka ikaw lang naman yan kasi ang dating nun sa'yo galing yung information because you cannot identify clearly the source of the information. So baka usap-usapan lang naman yan. Walang tao na or wala kang source na pinipresent na magja-justify ng story mo or magpapatunay ng istorya mo. So these are the provisions under the 4 sections or the first 4 sections of the Article 1, the News and Public Affairs Program of the KBP Broadcast Code. So in the next video lessons, we will be discussing the sections 4 to section 9 of the News and Public Affairs.